Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellen if you're new, and I just randomly got into niche fragrances. I did, yeah, I was not planning on it at all. Did not plan on it, but it has been a whirlwind of like 2.5 weeks and I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I have a new hyperfixation and I have to tell you about it. I have to tell you about it because like a new level of life has been opened to me and I'm just gonna become like a niche fragrance influencer now. Like you guys, I did not know that niche fragrances existed before 2 Fridays ago. That's crazy. So I just need to tell you guys about it. It's like, I need to spread the gospel. Let me give you a little background. So my name is Ellen. I'm a makeup lover. So I've just always gone to Sephora and I've gone to department stores and stuff like Nordstrom's and Macy's, but I didn't really I didn't really consider buying fragrance there because who goes to department stores anymore? I don't. So I only go to Sephora. I'm in Sephora all the time. And so I just thought that's where everyone buys fragrances. I genuinely never considered looking elsewhere. I genuinely thought like, if it's not in Sephora, it doesn't exist. That's where everyone buys fragrance, Sephora. Right? No. So I was out for a drink with my friend Tally a couple Fridays ago, and she mentioned this cute retailer in our neighborhood called Santa Eulalia. And I was like, I walk by that all the time. I didn't know that was a freaking store, bro. What the frick? And she's like, yeah, it's a nice store and they have a lot of nice niche perfumes in there. And I was like, niche perfumes? What the frick is that? And then she's like, yeah, have you ever heard of Parfums de Marly? And I was like, wait, that rings a bell. I think I have. What does that mean? And I've heard of Byredo and Diptyque and Parfums de Marly. Like I heard of those 3 brands, but I didn't know what niche perfumes meant. I was just like, is this just some there's like niches being used in 2 different ways here, right? Niche that I'm thinking before I knew what niche perfumes meant, I'm thinking oh la la, I'm so fancy, I get a niche perfume because I'm so fancy and I get a niche perfume and I can't buy Chanel or whatever. That's what I thought like niche meant. Because I was like, you're going out of your way to buy this like random brand. How do you even smell it first to see if you like it? Hello, samples exist. I learned that this week. Anyways, so I had very vaguely heard of those brands before. I heard Brittany Broski recommended them on her podcast back in February. I think it was like her Valentine's Day episode. And I wrote down a bunch of them. And then Sophie Floyd, I like following her on YouTube. She did a favorites video earlier this year as well, where she mentioned a bunch of favorite perfumes. And I'm not totally dumb. I know other perfume brands exist outside of Sephora, but I just I don't know. Because if they are difficult to find, you gotta put in a little effort to go find them. But I thought that they would be basically the same as what's in Sephora. So I was like, why would I bother buying a more expensive, harder to get perfume for what? Guys, if that's your thought process, get it out of your head, okay? So I quickly, the next day after I was with Tally, just quickly right before they closed, ran into Santa Eulalia and I was like, I gotta see your perfume section, girl. So they were annoyed at us because they were closing in 10 minutes, but we were like, just give us a few sniffs and we'll be out of your hair. So that's what we did. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Just from smelling 5 perfumes at Santa Eulalia that were all niche brands, which I'll explain in a second what that means if you're not familiar. I was like, wait a minute. Why is my whole life a lie right now? Hey, I feel like I've been out on the joke and no one freaking told me the punchline. And I don't even know how to put my finger on it or explain it, but there is a significant difference in the smell of a niche perfume versus a designer perfume. A niche perfume is not oh, it's so niche, you could never get your hands on it. Niche perfumes are still very popular and mainstream. It doesn't mean it's indie and so underground. That's not what niche means in this sense. It means that the perfume house, Diptyque, for example, started by creating fragrances. And their main purpose as a brand is to create fragrances. So like their main focus is fragrance. That's why they're niche, because like their niche interest or their niche focus as a brand is fragrance. Designer typically refers to like a high-end brand or just a brand that did something else first, and then they dipped their toes into fragrance as kind of like a secondary thing. So pretty much all the fragrances you see in Sephora are designer, because like Chanel, Dior, Dolce & Gabbana, all those brands that you would typically associate with like high-end fashion started as fashion houses and became or added fragrance into the mix much later on. So their primary focus as a brand is not fragrance, whereas like Diptyque's primary focus as a brand is fragrance. That's the difference. That's the difference. It's not like, oh, Diptyque is so exclusive and you can never get it. That's not the point. The point is their focus is mainly fragrance. So they might specialize in it a little bit more than like brands that are kind of trying to appeal to the masses. So that's why I think there's a very big, like anything from Sephora now that I know does kind of have like an interesting common thread throughout the fragrance that you can kind of tell it's designer. Whereas like these all smell distinctly different, if that makes sense. It's not like, oh, like just another perfume. Like they are different. And I never knew that. So I just have to tell you guys, because if you also didn't know that, your world is about to change. Because I never gave much thought to what fragrance I was wearing. My worldview was very limited. I thought it was just whatever was in Sephora. I never spent much time actually smelling perfumes because I was like, whatever, they all smell kind of the same. Like that. I'd never had a huge feelings about it one way or the other. I was never like super thrilled to go put on my perfume. It was just like literally perfume to me was the same step as deodorant. It was just deodorant, spritz, whatever, done. Whatever fragrance I've been into lately. And if you're curious, for my designer perfumes that I wear lately, is like Givenchy Irresistible, Giorgio Armani My Way, Givenchy L'Interdit. Like those are the perfumes in my designer rotation that I've been using for like 2 years now. So if you like those, you might like some of the niche fragrances I like, but also those designer fragrances smell nothing like the niche fragrances. Okay? Like to me, those all smell similar in the sense that you can like weirdly tell that they're designer. I really don't know how to explain it until you smell niche perfumes and then you go back and smell designer perfumes. You'll be like, oh, I get it. I don't even know how to explain it, but you can just kind of tell. Anyways, I don't want to do it a long intro, but we're already at 8 minutes. So I just had to tell you guys that because I feel like I just had a revelation over the past couple weeks and I'm like, this whole world has been hidden from me and I didn't know about it. Now I'm actually excited to put perfume on. Like, hello? So I have to share with you my first impressions today. And before I get into it, I want to let you know my preferences from what I've learned. And guys, when I start to like something and learn about it, I kind of like obsessively learn about it. So I spent like 7 hours last week on TikTok, YouTube, and Reddit learning about niche fragrances. And then I made like an Excel spreadsheet. I made notes, I made lists, and I learned about all the notes in perfumes. And then I went on a personal perfume shopping day with Marley the next Friday. So like one Friday I learned what niche perfumes were. The next Friday my friend Marley and I went shopping because she's like familiar with niche perfumes and also kind of introduced me to them as well. So we went on a whole like rendezvous about Barcelona to all the perfume stores like Labo Santal, Eulalia, Diptyque, and then the store called All Yours, and just sniffed all the niche perfumes that we could that day. And I tried to make a short list ahead of time of recommendations and things that I think, or scents that I think I would personally like. And I will give you a review of what I thought. But like I said, before we get into that, I want to let you know from what I've discovered over the past 2 weeks, like generally the scents that I like, or the notes that I like, so that you know if you're palette will align with mine, and if you can like align with my opinions, for example, because we all like different scents. I didn't mention it yet, but like for example, I saw L'ombre down low recommended at Diptyque, and when I first smelled it, I was like, what in the fuck are y'all smelling? And I love, for example, Le Papier. Smells divine, and I bought my first big bottle of it today. So that's one example. I really like musky perfumes that are a little bit sweet, not too sweet. I don't like gourmands. I don't like super sharp, super clean scents. I don't like patchouli. Nothing with patchouli, okay? I don't really like, actually, let me look it up. I also recently finished my website that I bought the domain for like 8 months ago. Oops. Because I wanted to start a blog because I have like the too much gene, like Jenna Marbles would say. And when I start learning about something that I like, I don't stop. And then I feel compelled to share the information with the world like I'm doing now. So I already did that last week, and I spent like 5 hours writing a comprehensive blog post on all the perfumes that I smelled with my friend Marley. So just gonna shout myself out here for my blog. I'll include it in the link below or in the description. But I wrote a blog post called Diving into the World of Niche Fragrances. So if you want like very detailed descriptions on every scent I smelled and what I like and don't like and recommendations and everything like that, it was like 65 fragrances. So if you want like a summary, a quick like reading summary, you could read this in like 5 minutes of all 65 fragrances, check the link in the description. But anyways, I did also summarize in this what I like and don't like so that you can try and align yourself, and if you agree with me, then you're at the right video, and if you don't, then maybe this video won't be that helpful for you, but stay anyway. Anyway, I have found that I like creamy, powdery, sweet, musky, and woody fragrances. I like bergamot, cherry, pear, ambroxan, pink pepper, black pepper, violet, jasmine, tuberose, rose, orange blossom, saffron, bourbon, vanilla, musk, akigala wood, shout out, cedarwood, cashmeran, and sandalwood. I like a lot of notes, but generally musky with a hint of sweet, with a hint of fresh, with a hint of powdery, and a hint of wood. But musks are like my big time favorite right now. I don't like super floral or super fruity. Like I was so excited to smell Killian Angel's share, and obviously like Britney said it's amazing, Beyonce supposedly wears it. I went into Santa Eulalia and I smelled it and I was like, oh, okay. It just straight up smells like a slice of apple pie. It's not a bad scent, but I was like, I don't want to smell like apple pie, I'm sorry. Like it smells like the grandma's in the kitchen. Like, I don't know. So I was like, what? So I don't really like super gourmand, super fruity, super floral. If it's too floral, barf, sorry, no thanks. I do not like really warm fragrances that I'm learning. I don't know how to describe them, but like warm spices. I think I prefer like the smell of cold spices like pepper. And I don't like fragrances that are very fig forward, that have patchouli. I think there's like one scent that I liked that had patchouli like deep down in there somewhere, but I noticed that almost every single scent I don't like had patchouli in it somewhere, and almost every scent I do like does not have patchouli in it. So that's a big one for me. If I smell patchouli, I'm like, ooh, get it away from me, get it away. And I also don't really like gardenia, iris, black currant, geranium, caramel, or oud, which I thought I would like oud because I like musky, but I'm equating those two in my head like as if they're similar because I think they sound like they should be similar, but they must not be that similar, because I smelled like Oud for Greatness from Initio and I was like, this is disgusting. So for example, I really like Fugazi Angel Dust, Diptyque Le Papier, obviously, Dias and Durga, I don't know what, Labo Another 13, very skin scents, very musk scents, nothing too floral or clean or woody or spicy, like pretty like ricey, musky, sweet. That's kind of what I'm into right now. I really don't like Oud for Greatness, like I just said. Narcotic Delight from Initio, I was sad because I heard that was like their sexiest scent. But same as Angel's Share, I was like, why does this just smell like fruit or food? I don't find that sexy. Maison Crivelli Hibiscus Mahajad, another one that I was like thrilled to try because everyone said it's so good, but I was like, this just smells like fruit. I don't get it. Diptyque L'ombre down low, but I'm gonna give it another try today. And then BDK Gris Charnel. That one was super recommended, and when I smelled it, I was like, what are we doing? So I hope that helps. I hope that helps as a precursor to this video, and I've been talking for a long time. I really like to talk. So yeah, let's go through and do a little review, and I'll kind of take you through the perfume sniffing day that I had, and then also like what my thoughts are now. Actually, like I think a bit over 3 weeks into my niche perfume discovery. So let's get started. So we started our perfume shopping day at Le Labo, and I'm sure you've all heard of Le Labo Santal 33 or Le Labo Labdanum 18. Those were the two that I was the most familiar with from like, I don't know, random influencers that I follow recommending them. So I was like, girl, I have to get my nose on those, and I didn't like them. I didn't. And to be fair, those were the first niche perfumes I was smelling, like, period. So I know Le Labo, I think it's like a bit more unique, maybe not for like a first time niche perfume lover, you know what I mean? Like, I think you have to be a bit more accustomed to niche perfume type scents before you really can appreciate them. So maybe that's partially why, like, I should probably go back and give it another smell. But we got like a personal perfume tester experience because we went there right at 10:30 on a Friday, and it was empty, and it was right when they opened. So we basically just got like a whole perfume experience. I explained to him that I'm totally new to niche perfumes, and the guy that was working there kind of like tried to narrow down what I like and what we can assume that I like. So we just went through like a good amount of Le Labo perfumes, and I do have a few samples here that I brought home, and just for reference, like all the samples I'm smelling, I just sprayed on a little piece of paper like a couple hours ago, so that I'm not smelling the first minute or two of the fragrance. I'm smelling like the full dry down, which I think is what really matters most. Like the initial spritz is not, I don't feel very representative of the scent as a whole. So these are on paper for a few hours already, just so you know. So the first one that I smelled was Lys 41 because Marley really likes it, and I know it is a popular scent, but it's like mainly a bit floral, sweet, creamy, powdery, woody. But for me, like Lys 41, let me smell it again. It's just like a hint too floral for me, just a hint. I don't think it's a bad fragrance at all. Like if I had to wear it for a day, I wouldn't mind it at all. Like I really genuinely still would enjoy it, but like if I'm just comparing it to all the other scents I like, it just doesn't make the cut, if that makes sense. Cause the floral notes in it, which it's like a floral scent, so duh, just doesn't really get me excited. It still smells beautiful though. Like it smells like a garden on a nice spring day. Like it's beautiful. But it says it has jasmine, tiare, tuberose absolute, lily, solar, note, whatever that is, bourbon, vanilla, musk, and woods. So like it is kind of everything I like, but maybe with just, I think it's like the jasmine, the tiare, and the tuberose, like maybe just like a teeny bit too much for what I like, but still a really nice fragrance. And then the other sample I got was Rose 31, and I thought I hated rose fragrances, for example, because I don't know, when I think of rose, I think of like, oh, just icky, like kind of a super elderly scent. Like, I don't know, when I think of rose, I think of just like, barf. But he explained to me, well, we're in a day and age now where like, he knew the rose that I was thinking of. He's like, a lot of people don't like that rose scent, but actually in perfumery nowadays, like there's so many different ways to make a rose smell that what you're thinking of is actually not that common. And I was like, what? Are you for real? So I smelled Rose 31, and I would never, if you gave this to me blindfolded and just told me to guess what it is, I would never guess that this is a rose scent. Like just guessing, I don't even know if I could guess, but it does smell a bit, it's very light, very subtle, a bit spicy, a bit woody, a bit. But it has rose as like the primary scent. And it doesn't smell too floral for me at all. Like I really liked this one, and I would have normally never even given it a chance because it had rose as the name, and I was like, I'm not gonna like that. But I really do, I really do. So it's floral, spicy, woody, animal, oriental. It has rose, cedarwood, cumin, rose absolute, gaiac wood, musk, cistus, frankincense, oud, vetiver. It's really nice. I feel like it's a really well-balanced fragrance. It's not really floral at all, honestly. It is just like the hint of hintiest spicy and woody with like a hint of floral. But really enjoy it, really enjoy it. Like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of Santal 33. I think to me, it's too woody because it's like the first note is Australian sandalwood and it's too leathery. And I do like a more manly or even unisex, like woody, sexy, slightly leathery scent. But I think for me, it's just slightly too woody and slightly too leathery. And I was like, I don't know if I can really get down with it like that. Like I would choose Rose 31 over Santal 33, for example. And then I just found out that this is Bad Bunny's signature scent, Thé Matcha 26, because a girl on Niche Fragrance TikTok, I literally just saw this TikTok right before filming. She said she was at a Super Bowl sports bar watching the Super Bowl in February, and it was in New York City, and Bad Bunny's stylists just happened to be sat next to her at her table because she was at a big table with her husband and there was more room, so they filled it in with others. So Bad Bunny's two stylists were some of the guys that sat next to her and her husband, and she's a niche perfume influencer. And so they got to talking. Obviously, she found out that they were there for Bad Bunny being on SNL, and she asked, like, is fragrance part of the outfit? You know, like, is that something that's taken into consideration? And they were like, yeah, it is. And she's like, am I allowed to ask, like, what Bad Bunny's signature scent is? And they were like, yeah, it's Thé Matcha 26. Oh, if you want to smell like Bad Bunny, now you know what to get. But I did smell this one and I didn't hate it. But again, it's like same as List 41. Like, it was up there, but if I'm picking my top 2 or 3, I'm not sure if it's making the cut. You know what I mean? But it's green, woody, creamy, fresh, sweet. It has fig, cedarwood, bitter orange, vetiver, matcha. And I'm honestly just not a huge fan of matcha. So honestly, I think that's kind of what's throwing me off in this scent, is that it's literally a matcha scent and I just don't like matcha that much. But I could see it growing on me over time. I also think I just don't like fig, like I said in the beginning. So maybe it's like the green figgy scents that are kind of throwing me off. But I didn't hate it. So it's not like I don't like it at all, but I, like, again, if I was gonna pick a few favorites, it probably wouldn't make the cut. I tried Fleur d'Oranger 27, the orange one. It is fresh, citrus, floral, green, fruity, and it has orange blossom, petit grain, bergamot, lemon, musk. I kept coming back to smell it because I love the smell of oranges and orange blossom. But I just, again, like, it's not that I can't wear it as a perfume. Like, if I wore it as a perfume, I absolutely would not be mad about it. But something about the smell of oranges to me just gives more like room spray than perfume. Like, I think I would love to smell it around me, like in the room I'm in, but I don't really want to smell it on my skin, if that makes sense. Then I smelled Labdanum 18. It's animal, powdery, sweet, resinous, spicy, and its notes are musk, cistus, geranium, balsam, patchouli, vanilla, castoreum, cinnamon, civet, hawthorn, tonka bean, birch tar. I really wanted to like this one again because so many influencers recommend it, but I just really don't like patchouli. And I could smell it in that one and I was like, ooh, no thank you. And I think my favorite from the Labo is Another 13. And I got that in like more of an official sample and it's already almost gone. It is synthetic, fresh, woody, spicy, fruity, and the fragrance notes are ambroxan, helvetalide, ambrit seed absolute, moss, pear, jasmine. I love pear, I love jasmine, I love musky scents, so it's amazing. And it almost smells cologne-y. Like, it smells like a super, super, super subtle cologne. Like, I would almost assume that this would be a man scent, but it's so good. It's so good. It's like your skin, but better. It's subtle, it's delicious. I wish it was just like a tiny bit more potent though. I think I sprayed it right here. I can't even tell that it's on my arm anymore. It's probably been 5 hours though. I can't smell it on my arm. I can still smell it on the paper a little bit, but it's just, I think for the money, it's just a little too subtle because I honestly can't barely smell it. I know what it smells like, so like I know that I like it and I know that I like whatever I'm smelling, but it's too subtle. I mean, if you're paying that much for a fragrance, I want it to be like a little bit longer lasting or like a little bit more obvious, but it is my favorite from Le Labo. And then I would have to say Rose 31 is my second favorite and Lys 41 is my third favorite. So those were the 3 samples I took home, and that was our experience at Le Labo. So our next stop was Santa Eulalia. Like I said, it's like a high-end retailer. We went to their perfume section. Again, it was early in the morning. If you're gonna go perfume shopping, do it in the morning on a weekday because you will not be bothered by any other customers and you will have like a personalized experience. So again, we were the only ones in there. I was like, hey, just FYI, I don't wanna be that annoying girl that's like in here smelling everything, but I am on a mission today because it's my first time niche fragrance shopping and I need to find out what I like. And the girl that was working that day was like, we got you, let's do this. And she was so nice. So I love that because like, I don't want to be annoying. I get it. It's like if I'm in there smelling like 15 cents, they're probably like, girl, like, are you going to buy something or like get out? But I think because it was the morning and it was not busy at all, they were probably just excited for something to do. So honestly, the girl that was helping us was like so nice. So I wanted to smell as many of the Byredo scents as I could because obviously you hear about Byredo all the time, especially from influencers online. And the 2 that I see recommended the most are Mojave Ghost and Gypsy Water. I don't like them. I don't. I wanted to so badly because I was like, these are kind of iconic names and the bottles are cute and they're like clean and aesthetic looking and I would love to have a cute little bottle of Byredo on my shelf. But I just really didn't like either of those 2. And that was the first like other brand besides Le Labo that I was like properly smelling. And I wasn't that impressed, honestly. I don't know, like even just from smelling Le Labo and then comparing it to Byredo, I was kind of like, I feel a little let down. Ugh. So Mojave Ghost says it's floral, fresh, woody, fruity, sweet, which I think starting out with floral is probably just where it gets me wrong. So the notes say sapote, ambrette, violet, sandalwood, magnolia, musk, amber, cedarwood, vetiver. I don't know, looking at the notes, like you'd think that I like it, but it just didn't really speak to me that much. It wasn't making me excited when I smelled it. But again, maybe it's one of those scents where I have to spray it on a card or spray it on my skin and like let it sit for an hour and then smell it again and see if I like it. So I'm not crossing it off forever, but upon the first sniff, I wasn't really interested. Gypsy Water says that it's woody, spicy, fresh, citrus, and sweet, and that the notes are juniper berry, lemon, bergamot, pepper, pine needle, iris, frankincense, vanilla, sandalwood, and amber. I don't know. Because like hypothetically I should like it based off of the notes, but same as Mojave Ghost, it just did not really speak to me. And then we smelled Blanche, which I do, or at least I thought I did. I thought I liked clean, soapy laundry scents, but the regular Blanche, like it was fine, but it didn't really like stand out to me. And then Bal D'afrique was another one that was very highly recommended. And it says that it's floral, fresh, fruity, citrus, sweet. Its notes are tagetes, bergamot, buchu, lemon, neroli, cyclamen, jasmine, violet, musk, vetiver, amber, and atlas cedar. I don't know a lot of those notes, but this was my favorite scent from Byredo by far. But the only problem is, like, if I'm comparing it to the other scents that I ended up smelling throughout that whole day or even just the ones from Le Labo, it just like wasn't really cutting it. Like, I don't know, I smelled it and I was like, no, this is like really good. Like I really like Bal D'afrique, but I just don't think I like it more than the scents I smelled from other brands, for example. So like if I had to pick a favorite from Byredo, it would be Bal D'afrique. But I feel for some reason Byredo as a fragrance house is like just not really up my alley. This is an example of why you need to get samples and bring them home and test them on your skin and on paper and like give it a couple days of testing it out before you really form an opinion on it, because I smelled Blanche Absolu in the store as well. And At first I was obsessed with it and I don't really know why. I smelled it and I was like, wait, this is so much better than regular Blanche. And so I thought I was gonna be super down for it. It says that it has aldehydes, neroli, black pepper, peony, violet, rose absolute, musk, sandalwood, amberwood, and broxin, cashmere wood. I did like it better than regular Blanche, but then I got a sample from this retailer called Woodburg and I sprayed it on a piece of paper and I let it sit for a few hours and then I came back to smell it, and actually, Woodburg sample. Now I know what people meant when they said online that it smells like straight up laundry detergent on steroids. In the store, I was not getting that for some reason. I was like, oh, this doesn't smell like laundry detergent. But literally spraying it at home, I was like, oh no, this is laundry detergent on steroids and there's no other way to describe it. It smells good, but it just genuinely smells like laundry detergent and I don't want to smell like that. But maybe for like a couch spray, if you want your couch to feel like refreshed because you can't wash your couch, I don't know. But yeah, was not a fan of that. I thought I was in the store, got the sample, tried it again, and I was like, no, what was I thinking? I do not like that. I also tried Casablanca Lily because it was recommended. It says it has white gardenia, plum, Indian tuberose, carnation, honey, and Brazilian rosewood. And then I know Brittany Broski also recommended Vanille Antique. And again, like a lot of these, I'm willing to give a second chance. I'm not gonna just smell it in the store and just be like, nope, that's done. I'm never gonna smell it again because I definitely hate it. Like, I think I need to give them another try, especially as my nose gets more accustomed to different types of niche fragrances. Like, I'll definitely give them another try, and I would like samples of all of them ideally, but that's, you know, is expensive and takes time. So I smelled Vanille Antique and I thought I liked vanilla fragrances, and I remember Brittany explaining this one as like a grown-up, like non-gourmand vanilla. And I was like, oh, I think I'll really like that one, but I did not like it at all. But the notes are freesia, plum, amber, cashmere wood, bourbon, vanilla, cistus, and musk. And I genuinely think it's like the plum and the freesia that are throwing it off for me, because the rest of the notes I should hypothetically really like. So I think it's like the fruity or the floral scents that are like kind of ruining it for me. Anyways, so that was my experience with Byredo. Just unfortunately, I really thought I was gonna leave the store with a Byredo scent that day just because of how many times I heard it recommended on social media, but none of them really stuck out to me. I don't know, they weren't really, I wasn't vibing with them. So then we smelled scents from Initio. Actually, I don't have any Initio fragrances with me right now. I will film another video, by the way, when the rest of my fragrance samples get here. I am waiting for another shipment to get here from another store because Woodburg had like one set of brands, and then this other one called Fragrant World, I think, had another set of brands like Initio. So anyways, smelled Initio Musk Therapy. So freaking good. It is creamy, fresh, sweet, fruity, and floral. It says it has white musk, mandarin orange, black currant, pink musk, bergamot, Indian sandalwood, magnolia. I don't know, but I love Musk Therapy. And it's my favorite from Initio by far. I need to do like a musk tournament once I have all my samples and do like a battle of the musks video, because it's clear to me that musks are clearly my favorite type of perfume right now anyway. And I need to smell that one again to confirm my thoughts. But like I said, I smelled Oud for Greatness from Initio. I mean, all of these that I'm smelling, they were just ones that were highly recommended. I wasn't just going in blind and smelling completely random scents. I came in with a list and I was like, I want to smell this one, this one, this one, this one. So Oud for Greatness: saffron, nutmeg, oud, musk, patchouli, lavender. Not for me. Not for me. The freaking patchouli, I can't. It was honestly kind of disgusting smelling. Narcotic Delight was supposedly their most like sexy, like dangerous, be careful when you wear this because it's so sexy. And I don't know what you guys think of when you think of sexy scents, but I'm thinking like, actually, sorry, I didn't smell Animalique this day, but my friend Marley has Animalique and she sprayed it on my skin when we were out for her birthday dinner the other week. And I did really like Animalique. So I'm saying that to say, when I think of a really like sexy nighttime date night scent, I'm thinking something along the lines of Animalique or Bal d'Afrique even from Byredo, but something like a little warmer, darker, spicier, not gourmands. I don't know, I'm not associating with gourmands with being like dark and sexy and sultry and whatever. So that's what I assumed that I would smell when I smelled Narcotic Delight, because I heard it was like, be careful when you wear this, it's like almost too sexy. It's like, it should be used with caution. I'm like, damn, give me one of those. And then I smelled it and I was like, what? Am I on a different planet? Because what are people talking about when they say it's like, careful, this is the sexiest scent ever? No, in my opinion, fuck no, it's not. What are we talking about? It's overly fruity and it's too light. So I was just kind of like, what? I don't know. I was kind of expecting something like Animalique from Byredo, but I mean, everyone can have their own opinion of what is considered like a sexy date night scent, but for me, Narcotic Delight, it smelled, I mean, it didn't smell the same, but it smelled in the same vein as Angel's Share from Kilian. But it says that it has cherry, cognac, tobacco, black pepper, hedion, vanilla, pink pepper. I think it's like, you'd think you'd smell more tobacco, but I think the cherry and the vanilla like really kind of take it over. And so to me, it just smells like a cherry vanilla fragrance. I don't know. I'll give it another try. I could give it another try. So then I think it's called Maison Francis Corkjian, but MFK Baccarat Rouge 540, you know the one. Yeah, I had to smell it. I've never actually officially smelled it before. I've known about this fragrance for a long time, but I did not know it was considered maybe it's considered, yeah, like niche. I didn't know what it was considered. I just thought it was, or I just knew it was definitely too expensive for me to be worrying about buying it, so I never bothered to smell it. It smells really good. It smells really good. I mean, it smells good or it's popular for a reason. It smells really good. I know some people are still put off by it, but it smells really good. What can I say? It's saffron, ambroxan, hedion, Virginia cedar, but it's by far this, I think it's my favorite scent that I smelled the entire day. But there's like a million dupes for it. I've had a dupe for it actually from Pacifica from Target. It was like their moon. I don't even know if they still sell it anymore, but whatever the moon was, one from Pacifica from Target, I had it in like 2022. So delicious, and it's supposedly a dupe for Baccarat 540. Super good, but I'm not spending that much money on a perfume, so it's just kind of like, smells great, out of the question, never mind. Then back to Maison Crivelli, the Hibiscus Mahajad. It's hibiscus, blackcurrant, damask rose, absolute orpur, hibiscus tea, vanilla absolute orpur, vanilla orchid, amber seed absolute, cinnamon orpur, leather, pomegranate, spearmint orpur. What is all this orpur stuff? I think it's all synthetic stuff. But anyway, I just don't think I like too much fruit. It just smells like you put like hibiscus and blackcurrant up your nose, and it's not a bad smell. It's just not something that I personally want on me as a perfume. That's the only difference. It's like, I smelled it and I was just kind of like, this is what people are going crazy over? Like, it's a very popular, like people were freaking out about this when I saw it recommended online, like, that's so good, it's so delicious. I was like, okay, I will smell it. And I was kind of just like, really? This is what people are going crazy for? Okay. So then we move on to Xerjoff / Casamorati. So Xerjoff is the main brand and Casamorati is like a line or like a sub-brand of that brand. So I smelled Dama Bianca, and I heard this recommended, like that it's quite simple. It could even be used as like a wedding day fragrance, but it's Chinese kumquat, Florentine iris, lime, lilac, Egyptian jasmine, violet, lily of the valley, Zanzibar vanilla, white musk, cedarwood, Indonesian sandalwood. And it was, I would agree with that statement that it would be a good wedding day type fragrance. It didn't blow me away, but I did genuinely enjoy it. Like, it was a genuinely very nice scent. But yeah, it's just, I wasn't like, oh, give it to me now. But I was like, oh, damn, this is very nice. Touche. And then the saleswoman suggested that we smell Torino 22. And I had never seen it recommended online or like noted it down or wrote it down anywhere. I didn't know anything about it. And I think that might have been my favorite from Xerjoff, Torino 22. But it is saffron, eucalyptus, bergamot, clary sage, mate, gaiac wood, musk, dry woods, really good. I don't know what to say. I mean, some of these notes, it's like when I see it, it doesn't even make sense, but I just know when I smell it if I think it smells delicious. And I think Torino 22 smells really delicious. Then we smelled Herba Gold and Herba Pura. And I heard a lot of debate between Herba Gold, Herba Pura, and people really like one or the other. They are also very similar. I think I like Herba Gold better. But that being said, if I was sprayed with either one of them, I wouldn't be mad at either one. But Herba Gold, I think just has like slightly more note, like fruity notes, if I remember correctly. But it's Amalfi lemon, Brazilian orange, Calabrian bergamot, ginger, melon, green apple, pear, clove, Guatemala cardamom, Madagascan cinnamon, white musk, amber, and then bourbon vanilla woods. But I can see why it's a love or hate fragrance because it smells like the yellow zebra bubblegum. I will find a photo of that because now I don't remember what it's called. An Herba Gold an Herba Pura smells, yeah, it just smells like slightly different, but honestly they do smell pretty similar. I think Herba Pura, I would feel like maybe is a bit more appealing to the masses because Herba Gold does legit smell like that zebra tongue tattoo gum. Anyway, so moving on, I smelled Parfums de Marly, of course, because I had to. Actually, the first day that I went there in like the 10 minutes before it was closing, I quickly smelled Delina because I had heard that one was recommended. It's their bestseller and it does smell really nice. I feel like I have to keep going back and, well, actually I'm waiting for samples in the mail, but I need to keep smelling Eulalia and Delina and comparing them to each other, because I thought I really liked Delina, and then when we went back on our perfume shopping day, I smelled Delina again and I was like, actually, I think I prefer Eulalia, crazy enough. I really thought I would get Delina, or like Delina the most, and I totally get why it's their bestseller. It is gorgeous, but then I smelled Eulalia and that day I was like, wait, why do I think I like Eulalia like a tiny bit more than Delina? So then I sprayed Eulalia on my arm right here and went throughout the day with it on while we were shopping. But when I kept going back to smell it, like the staying power was great. It didn't fade. It smelled really good. But there's something about it that I think I don't love. And maybe it could grow on me and maybe that note like wouldn't bother me in the future. I don't know. But Eulalia is white peach, bergamot, Italian mandarin orange, orange blossom, nympheal, Haitian vetiver, musk, ambrofix, akigala wood, and vanilla. I think something in it, like maybe it's like the touch of fruit. It's like sort of too sharp, if that makes sense. Like when it was on my skin, I would smell it and be like, this is really good, but... And you don't really want to feel like that when you're wearing a fragrance, you know what I mean? Like you just want to really like it and not have a but. So that's like my meter if I'm willing to really invest in a fragrance, is like I have to really like it without any buts. You know what I mean? Because there's too many fragrances in the world to buy something that has like, I really like it, but if there's a but in there, you don't like it enough. You just don't. So I really liked Eulalia, but it's something in it was just not speaking to me. I also smelled Layton because Brittany recommended it. I think it's technically masculine, or like a cologne, but she recommended it because she said it like is technically a cologne but dries down pretty unisex, and I would agree with that, but like it's just for some reason not my vibe. Like I think the florals in it are not my favorite, so just wasn't vibing with it. It also has patchouli, so maybe that's it. I don't know, but wasn't really loving it. Then I smelled Neroli Orange from Matiere Première, and again, love an orange forward fragrance, but it just smells like more like a room spray. I don't know. I really wanted to like it though, because I did like it, but just not that much. And then Marley recommended to me and also helped coordinate to buy this for my birthday, a bottle of Bois Imperial from Essential Parfum. She was like, just try this one, I think you'll like it. And I was like, okay, sure, I've never heard of it before. And when we were in there and I smelled it, I was like, oh my God, what is this? It's so good. And, anyway, It says that it is woody, fresh, synthetic, spicy, and green. And I would 100% agree with that. I think that is the perfect way to describe it. It has akigala wood, which I have heard like some people either really like akigala wood because it's like a synthetic wood fragrance, or some people don't. I really like it, so it works for me. Ambrofrix Georgie wood, Nepalese Sichuan pepper, Thai basil, Haitian vetiver, grapefruit, petalia, and Indonesian patchouli. And then I was like, do I like patchouli? But maybe Indonesian patchouli? I don't know. Maybe it's just like the quantity that's used in this fragrance with the mixture of the other notes. Like, I don't know. But I do not pick up a patchouli scent in this fragrance. And it might be my favorite of the day, but it is not a skin scent. It is not a musk scent. It is a woody, fresh, spicy green scent with a hint of, that you can tell it's kind of synthetic, but that's like saying it's synthetic is not like a bad thing. It's just like a vibe of a scent. Like you can kind of tell that it's like low-key synthetic, but it smells really good. It's unisex, it's woody, but it's not too woody. And it's green, but it's not too green because I don't like fragrances that are too green. But like as soon as I got home from perfume shopping that day, I sprayed it all over my bed in my pajamas. And I just would get little whiffs of it as I was sitting in bed and I was like, oh, rich. And the best way I can describe this is like a sexy, expensive hotel lobby. Yeah. And it's very unisex, dare I say more masculine, because it is kind of woody and spicy. Like if my man was wearing this, oh my God. But you can still obviously wear it as a woman. I mean, you can wear whatever perfume you want, but like, so you get a vibe of what I mean. But again, like I did wear it today I wore it today, but I also like it as a room spray. So it's like right on the cusp of, could it be better as a room spray? Maybe. But I also like it so much that I also want it on me. So I could do both. I just kind of want this sprayed all around me all the time so I get little whiffs of it and I go, ooh, delicious. So that's Bois Imperial. Imperial. And then we moved on to Diptyque. And I did not know they did perfumes. I just kind of was vaguely aware of them and Marley mentioned them to me once and I just kind of sort of recognized the name and I don't know, I did not know they did perfumes. So we went in there, the store is stunning. Again, we basically got like a personal perfume review session with one of the ladies that worked there. And I think Diptyque might be my favorite fragrance brand. Yeah, I think so. Because I resonated with not all of the fragrances, but I did really appreciate the uniqueness of the fragrances and that I didn't find any of them really specifically off-putting. Like I could completely understand how everyone likes some of the scents, even if they're not for me. But I think like Diptyque as a whole, I was like, wow, I am just really impressed. Like these are some really cool scents. And some of them are maybe a little bit more like conceptual scents, but I don't know. It's still nothing like the scents that I smelled from the other brands so far, for example. So the first one I smelled was Fleur de Peau. And this is a very, very highly recommended one, very popular. People say that it's like the sophisticated older sister of Le Papier. I don't know where they're getting that from. I do not agree at all. Again, maybe it's like eau de scents for me. Like maybe I need to re-smell Fleur de Peau on the paper or on my skin and give it an hour or two. Because upon the first sniff in the Diptyque store, I was like, ew, what the freak? But it's iris, musk, aldehydes, ambret seed, ambretylide, pink pepper, ambergris, Turkish rose. Like I should hypothetically like it, but for me, it came off too floral and too green. So I'm like, maybe it's the iris that's kind of throwing me off because people say that it's similar to Le Papier. And for me, I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Because for me, Le Papier is not green at all. And for me, Fleur de Peau was like very green. So I did not find them similar at all, but some people say that. So maybe for you, you would find them similar. And also maybe for me, I need to give it a second chance, to be fair. Then we have L'ombre dans l'eau. Actually, let me give it a sniff. When I bought my full-size Le Papier, because I mean, this one is by far my favorite. When I first smelled it, I was like, give me And so since it's my birthday this week, I decided, my 30th birthday, it's a big one for me, I decided to treat myself. Also, I feel for the quality and the experience and the joy I had smelling the Diptyque scents, that they were at a very reasonable price point. Like this was 145 euros. And I also think that the Essential Parfum, this is around the same price. So they're not like 200, 300 plus, they're under 200, which I think is pretty good for niche because niche tends to be more expensive. But for the gorgeous bottle and the gorgeous scent and just the overall experience that Diptyque gives you, especially in like their stores, I feel this is so worth it. So anyway, let's give L'ombre dans l'eau a little sniff. I'm just gonna use the bag. So on the first little waft that I'm getting, it actually smells quite nice. Okay, maybe I need to take back what I said. Oh! Okay. If I'm just getting like a soft wafting of the scent, I do enjoy it because it smells a bit more sweet. But then when you like really put your nose up to it, holy crap. Ugh. It's not bad. It's just so pungent. Yeah, I stand by my original statement. And maybe once this dries down on skin after a while, I mean, obviously, once it dries down on skin, it will always have a different scent than the original or the initial spritz. But it's the like insane intensity of the green fresh smell in it that's like, whoa. And I don't think this is the official description, but the woman in the store that was helping us and like, you know, helping us with smelling the samples and trying the perfumes explained it like fresh cut flower stems that you kind of just put in a perfume. And I think that's very accurate. Like fresh cut flower stems smell amazing if you're looking for like a fresh, beautiful, natural smell. But I don't really want it on my skin all day. Like that's the difference is I'm like, yes, objectively, this is a beautiful scent. It's just like really green. Like it really feels like I put like almost like basil leaves with fresh flower stems from Trader Joe's. You just freshly cut the flower stems and like chewed them up and then put them in your nose with like a little bit of basil or something. That's what it's giving me. So the accords are green, floral, fresh, fruity, spicy. I get that. It says that it's actually black currant leaf, rose, black currant bud, and petit grain. It doesn't say anything about basil in there, but it has like, I think that's the slight spicy note though. So it's just super green with like a hint of like basil-y spiciness. And yeah, I like I said, it's not a bad smell, but it's just pungent and smells like leaves and stems, and I don't really want that on my skin. That's my thoughts on that. Then I also smelled Eau Rose. Wait, don't I have Eau Rose? I thought I brought home a sample of Eau Rose, but I did not. I really liked it though. Again, same as Rose 31 from Le Labo. I was like, I don't think I'll like it, it's Rose, because I still didn't learn my Rose lesson at this point. But it smells really good. I need to give it a second chance because like I don't think it'll be my favorite from Diptyque, but well, it's not because L'eau Papier is my favorite. But like I don't know if it would be in my top 3 from Diptyque, but it is good. Like if you are scared of rose scents, I think you would really like Eau Rose from Diptyque or Rose 31 from Le Labo, because if you were to just smell them without knowing what the scent was, you would never guess that it's like overly floral or overly rose, because I really do not. I mean, obviously from L'ombre dans l'eau, I do not like overly floral or green scents. It's just not my vibe. So Eau Rose is really nice. Philosykos was really recommended, but it is like, I love the story behind it. I love the dreamy visuals that go along with it, but it's supposed to be inspired by like a beautiful day in Greece on like maybe like a vineyard or something, but it's fig leaf, fig wood, and black pepper. So I don't think I like fig. And when I smelled this, I was like, oh, right, I don't like this one at all. But if you like fig and you like green scents, maybe you will like that one. Brittany Broski also recommended Do Son, and she said it's like a really beautiful floral that's not too floral. It's too floral for me. It's too floral for me. Yeah, but it's not bad. Again, it's not bad. Same as this one. It's not terrible, but it's just too floral for me and I wouldn't want to smell it on my skin all day. And then we get to Le Papier. And when I smelled it, I was like, oh, I didn't think I would like it because based on everyone's description online, it's like a fresh stack of paper with a hint of rice and the mimosa scent. And I was like, okay, odd. And then I smelled it and I was like, oh my God. And I just immediately get like sweet toasted rice with a bit of musk. Sweet toasted rice with a bit of musk. And I've been using the F out of the sample, testing it on my skin because I knew if I liked it that much on the paper, it would be a big contender for buying a bottle of it. So I've been testing this on my skin, seeing how it wears on my skin, and I loved it even more. And I was like, okay, easy. By far my favorite one from Diptyque is Le Papier, no question. I'm obsessed. So I got my big bottle. I also wanted to smell Eau Duelle. The lady was like, I don't know if you'll like it because like it seems like you don't like overly sweet scents. And I was like, no, I just want to try it though. Like I thought I maybe wouldn't like vanilla scents, but I just want to try it because it was recommended. And it is okay, I don't really like gourmands. I guess this is more of a gourmandy scent. But I do generally like vanillas. Oh my God, it's so good. But the thing is, it's just a hint too sweet. I want to keep smelling it because it does smell like really good. Like not caramely sweet, not caramely vanilla, almost like funfetti vanilla frosting. But like not just that. It's like that's like what you smell immediately, and then when you keep smelling it beyond the funfetti frosting, it's like, yeah, like just a teeniest bit of frankincense and pink pepper. Yeah. Oh my God, it's so good. So it's like grounded by some of those other notes, and it doesn't just smell like little kid sweet vanilla candy. Like it has that at the beginning when you first take a sniff, and then you're like, wait, what else is in there? And it's not like woody at all. I wouldn't say that it's not woody, even though it kind of says that in the description, but maybe just like it's just such a subtle, if you really think about it when you're smelling, you can smell a bit of wood, but it is like funfetti frosting on like a little bit of frankincense and pepper. Like it's so good. But I mean, I haven't used that much of the sample because it's just a bit too sweet, I think. So for that reason, I'm out. And she brought us over to their like, I forgot what the line is called, but it's the ones that have the different looking bottles that are like, I think they're slightly more expensive. And I really wanted to smell Bois Cassé because Brittany also recommended this one. And I also smelled all the other ones. So Bois Cassé was by far my favorite out of those like higher end scents that they have. However, I really liked it initially in the store, and I was like, oh my God, this one might be my favorite. But now, after a couple weeks of like smelling them over and over, again, I haven't used that much of this sample because after the first day or two of smelling it, I was like, wait, actually, I don't think I like it as much as I thought. Like, just off of sniffing it on the paper, I love it. I love it. It is a beautiful scent. But it's like, if you are gonna say but, my but for this one is that it's too sweet. But I like that it's a balanced sweet with woody. It's like a caramely, what does it say? It says it's woody, sweet, spicy, resinous, creamy. And it's sandalwood, tonka bean, absolute, Arabica coffee, cedarwood, tonka bean, resinoid. It is really nice though. It's not too woody, not too sweet, but the more I'm smelling it, I'm like, maybe is it too sweet though? I think the woody notes in here are like perfect, but it's almost too light and too sweet. So for that reason, I'm out. Okay, this video is gonna be so long. I just have so much to say. I also tried Lily Fea. It is a little bit too fresh and green for me, but not as much as the other ones. Corel or Oscuro it's not bad. It's just not my vibe. Like, I think it was, yeah, fresh and green, maybe just like a little bit too fresh and green. And then Luna Maris, Marley took a sample of this home, and when I smelled it on her skin on another day when I met her, I really liked it on her skin better than I liked it on the paper. But it's like, it's pretty simple actually. It's like a bit spicy, but on her skin it just smelled really nice. And then the Rose Rocher, another rose scent, I actually really liked it, but I didn't like it quite as much as the Eau Rose or Rose 31 from Le Labo. So moving on, we went to the All Yours store. And it's like a clean skincare store that also carries niche perfumes. The funny thing is I've been into the All Yours store like 6 times. And it's like the front of the store is like the skincare portion. And then there's like a back, like it's kind of like an L-shaped store. So like the front part is like the skincare stuff. And the back part was just like this little room with all these perfumes. And I didn't know what it meant. I was like, I don't know what that stuff is. I'm not even gonna look. So I never looked at the perfumes because I was just like, what is that? I don't know what those mean. I don't know what any of this means. And it is a bit intimidating when I don't recognize any of the brands. I don't know really anything about what I actually like. So to even just pick up one bottle and start smelling, to not have a jumping off point of some research beforehand is like way too intimidating. Plus, no offense to All Yours, but at the store, the girls working there were not really like jumping up to help give us a fragrance assistance, you know what I mean? Like they were at the other stores. And I get it, All Yours is like, it tends to be a little bit busier, so maybe that's not really the experience that they're planning to provide. But I would have been much more likely to buy something if they had kind of helped us navigate the scents. Plus, since no one is monitoring the scent area or the fragrance area, it's just kind of like a little bit messier and a little bit more gross from like gross hands touching all the bottles. Ugh. So the experience was like the least luxurious out of all the stores, but they had a lot of variety of fragrances that we wanted to try that were not at the other stores. So it was worth going there. BDK Parfum, a lot of them were recommended, but I wanted to mention that I will not be purchasing or really promoting them at all. I'm just gonna kind of skip right over them because they are anti-Palestine, and I just found that out through the TikTok I posted when I was saying that I'm getting into niche perfumes, and I mentioned that I liked BDK Rouge smoking, and then somebody was like, did you know that they're like vehemently anti-Palestine? I was like, oh, I didn't know that. And then I looked it up a little bit, and I did see that they are, as far as I can tell. So yeah, I don't, like, there's plenty of other fragrances in the world. Am I gonna vet every single fragrance house to see what their stance is on political issues? I'm not, but this was made aware to me, and I'm not gonna ignore it. So I'm gonna move on. Francesca Bianchi, I tried under my skin. I actually really liked it. It's again another like kind of musky skin scent. So in the same family as like Another 13 or L'Eau Papier. I also tried Sex and the Sea, and I'm open to salty beach scents, but this one like really wasn't the vibe that I would normally gravitate towards. I think it was just, I don't know, something about it like wasn't my favorite. And we actually smelled another like sea salty beachy scent that I preferred more. I tried Psychedelique de Jovoy. I tried Psychedelique from Jovoy, and I did not like it at all. I think it's from the patchouli or something. It's like super fruity, earthy patchouli. I did not like it. I tried Glow by Acro, and it was not bad at all. But once I smelled that one, I was like, oh, now I kind of get what a designer fragrance smells like, because for something about the Acro Glow scent smelled the closest to a designer scent from Sephora, in my opinion. So it wasn't bad at all, but when I smelled it, I was like, oh, yeah, I don't really like it that much. It's not sticking out to me. It didn't stand out to me. It's not bad though. Like, I would still recommend it to someone if they liked the scent of it. Like, it's still nice. Then I tried Bianco Latte from Giardini di Toscana. This one has been around for a while, and I think a lot of people have enjoyed it over the years. But it is a gourmand. And at first I smelled it and I was looking at Marley and I was like, wait, I think I really like this one. And then she mentioned, like, I let her sniff it and she was like, oh, it smells like caramel. And then I smelled it again and I was like, oh. And I smelled the caramel right away and I was like, I don't like caramel. I don't like it now that I smelled the caramel in it. Like, I don't, because something about it being like the kind of almost like sickly sweet gourmand smell, I don't like it. To me, I don't want to smell like edible, really. I just want to smell like sexy and delicious, but not in like a eating of dessert edible way, if that makes sense. I really liked it, except for the caramel. I mean, the honey and the vanilla I don't find so obviously gourmand, but the caramel, I was like, oh, actually kind of ruined it for me. So it's nice, but I don't really like the caramel gourmand. And then I tried Celeste from Giardini di Toscana, and I wasn't really that big of a fan, sadly. Moving on to the big hitter, Dias and Durga. So I was really excited to try this brand because, again, I had heard so much about it online, kind of similar to like Byredo and Parfums de Marly and Diptyque. So I tried Steamed Rainbow at first, and this was the most fascinating, interesting scent I smelled of the entire day. Mostly because I would consider it like more of a concept fragrance. Like it should be in a museum and people should be able to smell it while staring at like a piece of art or like an interactive screen or something. Because it really does capture the smell of like a steamed rainbow. It's crazy. Like when I smelled it, I was like, I feel like I just got transported to like, I imagined myself in like a baseball field in downtown Stillwater area where I'm from, like a rainy baseball field, or like right after it rained, or like a really dewy morning where it rained early in the morning and like there's a rainbow in the sky. But anyways, it genuinely smells like wet grass and like that after rain smell. It's fascinating. Then I had to smell the Dias and Durga I Don't Know What. Obviously was recommended by Brittany, also recommended by many other people on the internet. Again, same vein, skin scent, like Another 13, like Low Papier, kind of like sort of up that alley. So here's my little sample of I Don't Know What. And oh my gosh, I want to say it almost smells just like Another 13. Actually I take it back. This smells very similar to Another 13, but it's much stronger and longer lasting as far as I can tell. Because these have both been sitting on the paper for about the same amount of time, I can barely tell that Another 13 is on the paper. So I definitely prefer I Don't Know What because you can still at least tell it's there. And it almost, like I would also want my boyfriend to smell like this, but then I would also want to smell like this. And it's meant to kind of be like a perfume enhancer or to mix it with other, or layer with other perfumes. But yeah, I just can't stop sniffing it. Like, I want to compare it to Low Papier. They're in the same vein of like skin musky scents, but this is much sweeter with like the toasted rice note, Low Papier. And then I Don't Know What is like more of a spicy cologne scent. Yeah, that's the way I can differentiate them. Like this one is like sweet, innocent, toasted rice with a hint of like sweet. And this one is like, ooh, sexy. But they're both still very light skin scents, if that makes sense. So unfortunately at the All Yours store, they did not have a few of the other scents that I saw recommended. So I got them in this sample order and I got to sniff them over the last few days. So Brittany recommended Dias and Durga Gateau Blackout. And this one, I don't know what to think because at first I'm like, I don't really like it. But then the more I kind of sniff it, I'm like, wait, yes I do. It is spicy, woody, not sweet, but it's not too spicy or too woody. I don't know. I want to say it's similar to Viktor & Rolf Spice Bomb Infrared. I also have a bottle of that and I really like it. But I think I dare say I prefer Gateau Blackout. Very unisex, but leaning masculine. What is that? Oh my gosh, it's like almost like a cinnamon leather smell, but not heavy cinnamon. Like if I had to classify the leather, it would be like leather with a hint of cinnamon infused in the leather somehow. I don't know if that makes sense. And then I got Sweet Do Nothing. This one is a bit more green. I would say it's like if you took the base of I Don't Know What and then added like a hint of green, but not too much green that I don't like it. I actually would equivalent it to L'ombre dans l'eau. Almost like if you made a baby of L'ombre dans l'eau, Gateau Blackout, and Another 13 to like tone it down. But it's like a slightly spicy, woody, green scent. And I just think it's like, it's just slightly too green for my taste. I prefer Gateau Blackout and I for sure prefer I Don't Know What. But this is still nice. I did wear it the other day and I still liked it, but it's not like blowing me away. And the last one from Dias and Durga I'm trying is Debaser, because again, I think Brittany recommended it. And this one from Dias and Durga gives me the exact same vibes as L'ombre dans l'eau. It's too green. Like same vibes. It smells like fresh cut plant stems. So but it's not quite as pungent to where I'm like the one from Diptyque, but it is like its cousin. It's like its cousin, Diptyque's cousin. So those were the Dias and Durga ones I tried, or that I'm smelling now, and I Don't Know What is like easily my favorite. So then we moved on to Fugazi, and I had heard or seen online that Orange Crush was recommended, and again, I love an orange scent. So I smelled it, but it's still too orange and not really something I want on my skin. But it did smell really good. And then as we were at the Fugazi section, I just saw the bottle called Angel Dust and I was like, ooh, Angel Dust, that must smell good. And then I just randomly gave it a try and oh my God, it smells so good. Like from the day of smelling, besides Baccarat Rouge 540, I think by far that was my favorite scent as far as like something that I connect with and want to wear every day. I have a sample of it because of course I had to try it on my skin more and really confirm my thoughts. However, I think I put it on my skin. I don't know, after 5 hours I'm not smelling much, but it's also possible that I kind of went a little, like low key, a little bit nose blind to them. I love Fugazi Angel Dust almost as much as I love Labo Papier, and they are very similar. But especially when I spritz them on my skin, because I already tested them like one on each arm the other day as well, to see which one I liked better and which one I wanted to buy a bottle of, because like right off the bat, I was like, oh no, wait, I take it back. Like Angel Dust is by far my favorite. I don't want Labo Papier. But then, I don't know, Labo Papier is just slightly more what I'm looking for as far as like a sweet musk, if that makes sense. And this has like just a hint of like cologne-y, woody spice to it, which makes it much more unisex for sure. But also I feel makes it like less interesting. But I would still be thrilled to have a bottle of this. But I was like, it is just like, in my opinion, so similar to Labo Papier that in that way I was like, okay, I've really got to choose between the two. And Labo Papier has been sticking in my head like crazy and I can't get it out. That one was the clear winner for me, but this one has been on my mind and I keep thinking like, I've got to get a bottle of Angel Dust. Like it's just, I probably will to be honest, but hey, I've already got enough, you know, in the last 2 weeks of just diving into this head first. I can wait a little bit before I buy another bottle, but I think Angel Dust might be the next bottle that I buy because it's really good. I also tried a few kind of like random ones that I didn't really know whether I would like or not, but they were in my notes from my excessive research and I just wanted to try them because they happened to be at that store. So I tried Imaginary Author's Oh Unknown, and honestly, it's not bad at all. Like it's a very interesting scent. I like it, like more of like a unique scent, but it smells like books and tea. So if you're kind of into that vibe, I think it's actually a really cool scent, but I didn't want it that badly, but it was actually pretty cool. And also the perfume bottles look like books. So if you have them all lined up, it looks like a bookshelf. It's kind of iconic. I'm kind of obsessed. I want to smell more from that line, but I just smelled the one. And then I smelled Suma Oriental from Une Nuit Nomade, and it didn't really stick out to me. And I think it's the patchouli and something else in there that I did not like, but I didn't really like it. And then Marley actually pointed out this brand to me when we were at the store, and it's called Born to Stand Out. And she was like, oh my God, Dirty Rice, I really want this one. And I was like, okay, let me try, because I recognized rice, Labo Papier, rice. So I was like, okay, wait, maybe I'm into rice scents. So I also smelled it. I got a sample because I did like it enough in the store that I was curious and wanted to try more. And I did also do like a battle of the musky sweet rice scents on my arms the other day. And this one, I remember thinking like when it dries down and sits on your skin, or at least on my skin, it was just ever so slightly too sweet milky. Like I would say it's very, very similar and up the same alley as Fugazi Angel Dust. But Angel Dust, for example, has that like slightly spicy, slightly woody cologne vibe. It's like if they both started in the same spot. It's like Fugazi Angel Dust, it's like slightly woody, slightly cologne, and this one is like slightly sweet, slightly milk. Both very similar, but this one is more unisex and this one is more sweet. And I think it's just like ever so slightly too sweet. And then that's where Labo Papier comes in, and it's kind of like the perfect blend of all these, in my opinion. We also smelled Carner Barcelona La Playa. Smells like a beautiful beach day with a hint of like tropical and a hint of sunscreen. And I kind of vibe with that. Like a little sea salt, a little sunscreen, a little tropical. Really good, really good. It says that it has Italian bergamot, Madagascan ylang ylang, orange blossom, coconut milk, pistachio, Indian cardamom, vanilla, musk, Venezuelan tonka bean. But I was like, if you need a cunty beach scent for the summer, this one is your girl. But you have to be down for like a low-key sunscreen scent, and I am. I kind of like that smell. So if you are down with that, you will really like Carner La Playa. But if you do not like any hint of sunscreen smell, you will not like this one. So that was everything at All Yours. And then I went to Perfumeria Julia by myself because Marley had to go. And I wanted to smell Nichonnet, which was the only store that had Nichonnet. And I really wanted to smell 100 Silent Ways because I had heard that recommended so many times. And I really liked it, and I wanna get samples. Actually, I think I have samples arriving in my other shipment. So maybe we'll see how I like it when I get a proper try. But I get why. Like, it's a very gorgeous scent. I don't think it will be my favorite. I think there was like something that was just ever so slightly too floral. And I'm like, is it the gardenia? Is it the tuberose? Is it the jasmine? I don't know what's in it that's making it just like, I don't want to have that feeling where I'm like, it's gorgeous, I want to keep smelling it, but then I don't like it that much. I smelled Ani X because there's like the regular versions and there's usually like a scent that's like whatever X. So I smelled Ani X because that one specifically was recommended a lot online. And again, same thing. I totally get why it's recommended. It's very good, but I just don't like it not enough to like keep coming back to it. And then I tried Tuberosa X and I really liked it. I tried Tuberosa and then Tuberosa X and I preferred the X version. I would have, like, just looking at the notes, would have thought it would be too floral for me. And this is where I don't know how to describe what I consider too floral. I don't know what type of florals that just really bother me, but the florals that are in Tuberosa X, for example, I like. And to me, like, I hope that I'm making sense, but they don't give like obvious floral. It gives like, oh, that's a floral scent? Oh, I wouldn't have really necessarily guessed. Whereas like L'ombre dans l'eau, I'm sorry, I keep using it as an example, but it is very like floral. And it's not like Tuberosa X is not like that, just to give you an example. And then randomly, the lady at Perfumeria Julia recommended that I try this brand called Bond No. 9, and she recommended the scent Greenwich Village. And I was like, okay, I've never heard of that before, but like, go off queen, I'll try it. And I really liked it. I need to smell it again to like really form my thoughts on it, but like it was actually really good. I was like, what? The bottle like low-key looked kind of like cheap 2000s vibes. And I was like, oh, like, should I try that one? Like, judging by the bottle. But I did really like it, interestingly. I would have to give it another try, but it's not something that I'm like dying to try again. So that was the last stop of the day. But then in my order, I have a few more that I was looking to try that weren't available like in Barcelona to find. So again, a lot of these recommendations came from Brittany Broski, and she recommended Heretic Scandalwood, but I think she said it didn't last long enough on her. And I just was like, okay, well, she says she likes it, so I want to try it and see if we're on the same page here or whatnot. I really, really like Scandalwood. Like, oh, what can I compare it to? It is similar to Fugazi Angel Dust, and it's similar to Born to Stand Out Dirty Rice. It's similar to both of those. I did a test of this one, Angel Dust, Dirty Rice, and L'Eau Papier on my skin the other day. L'Eau Papier obviously still won, but I dare say Scandalwood is like the perfect, beautiful mix of them all. Yeah, I have to agree with that. So if I had to rank these four like sweet, spicy, woody musks, I would say L'Eau Papier number 1, Heretic Scandalwood number 2, Fugazi Angel Dust number 3, and Dirty Rice number 4. Very close, almost a tie. But if I had to rank it, that's how I would rank it. And then from Heretic, I wanted to try Voodoo Lily. Again, I saw it recommended. I wanted to see if I like it. And at first I was thinking like, oh, it has lily in the name. It's probably floral. Like I probably won't like it, but I do. And it's not, again, not overly floral. It is a little floral. It is a little green, but not like overly so. I don't really know what the other notes are in it, but I would not classify this as like an obviously floral scent. Like if I could compare it to Dias and Durga Sweet Do Nothing maybe. Oof, yeah, like Dias and Durga Sweet Do Nothing is much more green and fresh and floral than Voodoo Lily from Heretic. How do I describe this one? It's like, almost like maybe if I could compare like if Sweet Do Nothing and I Don't Know What had a baby. It's almost like the I don't know what would like dull down the sweet do nothing and make it like a more of a musky, like musky sweet with like a hint of green floral. Really, really like this. Like would not have guessed that I would like it so much, but Heretic Scandalwood, I was like, whoa, this is freaking good. Oh my gosh, like do I like it better than Angel Dust? Wait, dude, oh my God, I don't know. Dude, dare I say I like it better than Angel Dust. I just, for some reason, had such a connection with Angel Dust on that day that I think it's swaying my opinion. But if I'm being completely honest and just blind to smelling, like, I don't know which one is which. Oh, I don't know, they're really like on a tie for me, but those are really good. And then, sorry, I'm getting to the end of the video, guys. This is a long one. In the Woodburg sample order that I got, they also sent a freebie, I have to assume, because I did not order this one. It's called Ephemeral Dyadic Another World. And I was like, I've never heard of this brand before. Also, never heard of any of these brands basically before like 2 weeks ago. But anyway, it is a bit of a smaller brand. I think it's from Istanbul. But when I smelled this, I was like, wait a freaking minute. I have a feeling that the Woodburg team saw my order and picked like a freebie scent based off of what I ordered, like guessing on what I might like. Or if they didn't, they just were real lucky and I really like it. I thought this was gonna be actually my favorite over Le Papier, but then I did a test again on my arms the other day where I did like Ephemeral Another World here and then I did Le Papier here. And after I let them sit on my skin for a while, I will say this one turned like a little bit too synthetic-y sweet on my arm. Oh, it's not on my arm now, but on the paper and on the first spray, it is delicious. It is like Le Papier, but slightly sweeter, and not in the same way that Dirty Rice is sweeter. No. Dirty Rice smells sweeter, like a fresh, slightly green cloud, and Another World smells sweeter, like kind of like Eau Duelle, like a bit more of a vanilla-y sweeter. And it's a bit like fuller feeling, like Dirty Rice feels a bit like airy and cloudy. This feels like a bit more like fuller and warmer. Oh my gosh, it's so nice. But the only issue is I didn't really love it that much after it sat on my skin for a while because I think it just turned just like, because it is already quite sweet on the first like spritz, like on the top notes and everything. And when it dries down, it like continues to get a teeny bit more sweet. And I don't really like my scents like that sweet. So I think that was the only setback. But I'm being very picky here, guys. Like a lot of these scents smell very similar. And it's clear that I have a type at this point, right? Like a few of these that I've been mentioning towards the end here, it's like the battle of the sweet, slightly spicy, slightly woody musks. And this one is really, really good. But it is a little bit sweet in the same vein as like Eau Duelle is sweet, if that makes sense. So those were all my samples, but I don't want to forget my other birthday gift that I don't know that Loewe is not a niche brand. Oh wait, we're learning. Loewe is not a niche brand because Loewe did not start in perfume. It is a fashion house. But my friend Tally got it for me for my birthday. Thank you, Tally. And I don't know how to describe this one either. It doesn't smell designer either though. Like, it doesn't smell like an obvious Sephora perfume. That's not the vibe I'm getting from this one at all. But it smells like, it doesn't smell like any of these that I've tried today. So it's not even easy for me to compare it to something else to give you a vibe of what it's like. I would say the vibe in the realm it's most similar to is actually probably Bois Imperial. And I'm glad I have bottles of them then, obviously, because I like this vibe. They're in the same like realm, you know what I mean? These are not sweet scents. They're not sweet. They're like fresh, woody, slightly masculine leaning, slightly. But this one is almost like a hint of aftershave and like not sea salty at all, but like this would be a good like summer beach scent, you know? Like this would be a good like summer during the day to wear to the beach. But it doesn't give me like Connor La Playa beach. It's not like sunscreen tropical scent at all. It's like clean, but not too sharp. It's, I don't know, it's really delicious. And I also am comparing it to this as well because these are both scents that I really like that smell, yeah, I guess I could also give this a vibe as like a hotel lobby kind of vibe where I would like to smell it on myself, but I would also like to smell it around me, like in the room, like as a room spray. And it also is like unisex, leans slightly masculine, slightly clean. This one's more woody for sure than this one. This one is not really that woody. No, I would not classify this as woody. It's like a light, slightly, ever so slightly aftershavey pear and jasmine. Like clean smelling, like after you do an everything shower and put on all your lotions and you have like clean sheets, and then you kind of spritz this like on your pajamas and like in your bed, or like a summer day out. Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting. Oh duh, okay, so I've learned we're not using Fragrantica anymore because they're like pro-Russia. So we're using Parfumo. So I have a Parfumo account. All right, well that'll do it. That'll do it. So this is a very long video, but I hope it's helpful, if anything, like that you can skip around and see my thoughts on the different brands at the very least and not have to literally sit through the whole thing if you don't want to. But I will be coming out with another video very soon with these samples that I'm waiting. I was hoping they would be ready, but honestly, like I was hoping that they would arrive already, but I'm honestly kind of glad they are not, because then this video would just be like insanely long. But once those samples arrive, I will film a little impressions video so you can get to know more about those, and so that you know what to expect from the samples that I have coming in the mail. I'm waiting on BDK Rouge Smoking. Ordered that before I was really aware, but I did like that smell, to be honest. Eccentric Molecules Molecule 1, even though I know it's not supposed to have really a smell, but like, I don't know, I'm gonna try it. Francesca Bianchi Under My Skin, I wanted to give it another try. I want to try Killian Love Don't Be Shy because that's supposedly Rihanna's scent. And even though I didn't like Killian Angel's share, I wanted to try Killian Love Don't Be Shy, but they didn't have it at Santa Eulalia, so I ordered a sample. And then I want to try a few more of the MFK scents. So I want to try 724, Gentle Fluidity Silver, and then I ordered a sample of Baccarat Rouge 540 because I was like, well, if I can't have the whole thing, I'll have a little. And then I ordered a sample of Parfums de Marly, Delina, and Valaya so I can really try them like properly a little bit more. And then I ordered Xerjoff Shooting Stars Starlight because I also heard that one recommended a bunch, but they did not have it in any of the stores I went to. And I keep forgetting that they have an official Xerjoff store here in Barcelona, but I haven't gone there yet. But I figured if it's recommended so many times, let me order a sample of it and see what I think. And then I ordered Casamorati Quattro Pizzi because again, same thing, it wasn't in the stores here. And then I ordered Xerjoff Herba Gold because I did really like it in the store, but I felt it was worth another trial, another sniff. But as far as like other samples that I want to try, now I am convinced that I need to try a sample of Eau de Sen's, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting it when I was at the store today. But when I first smelled this, I did not like it. Now I do. So I need a sample of Eau de Sen's, and maybe I need to give like some of the Le Labo scents another try because now I'm more familiar with other scents. But I'm like a full niche fragrance girly now. I'm obsessed. I did not know that smelling perfumes could be this fun and this exciting. So I just feel like, yeah, a whole new world opened up to me. So come along for the ride. I'm excited to have a little niche fragrance community online. I've already been watching so many niche fragrance YouTubers and TikTokers, and like TikTok knows I'm fully in the fragrance talk now. So yeah, I hope that was helpful, guys. Thanks for sticking through to the end if you did. This was a long one. But yeah, have a great week and I'll see you in the next video very soon.